Ken Dashow, live at 5, brought to you by Wendy's. It's great having real live folks in the studio. Visiting us today, Lynyrd Skynyrd in the studio.
Baby.
Welcome to New York, guys. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Please, you youngsters, as we were just going to say, so introduce yourselves. Rickey?
Rickey Medlocke.
And Gary Rossington with Lynyrd Skynyrd.
You keep on keeping on, and we get to have the party Sunday night at the Nikon Theater at Jones Beach with Kid Rock.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, man. Great tour right now. It's, I heard it's probably in one of the top 3 grossing tours of the year, and it's been selling out everywhere, and we've just been having a blast.
Yeah, it's fun. We hope to have fun in Jones Beach, and I'm sure we will. We can't wait.
Isn't that funny how sometimes when that was first announced over a year ago, last summer, and I had a lot of phone calls, people going, what? What? Kid Rock? What? And I said, well, just give it a chance. You'll see.
Yeah.
And what a party. What a great show. It's a blast.
Yeah, it is. We got kind of the same fan base,
Yes.
Wild and crazy kind of people, and they're coming, and it's a great thing, man.
It's kind of cool because, his fans get turned on to our music, and our fans get turned on to his music, and, for those that's never seen each other, the bands.
Right.
But for the most part of it, I mean, what fan of his hasn't heard Sweet Home Alabama all of a sudden, right?
No one in the free world, and in a few hidden Muslim countries.
If you haven't heard that song, I don't know where you've been, man.
Let's do it. Lynyrd Skynyrd with us at Q1043.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, listen, Freebird is the epic that we all love and are crazed. But you know how sometimes events in life bring new meanings to different songs?
Sure.
Well, here in New York, after September 11th, which was a Tuesday, like the first song I played the next day, because it was how do you get back into music after this horror and information?
Sure.
And you wrote the song. I mean, Tuesday's Gone might as well have been written that night here in New York City. And for all the folks we lost and all the people in memorial, it still stays here. And that's taken on that meaning to us here.
Yeah, that's great. That was a great thing that happened for that song. I mean, I'm glad that people could relate to that,
We actually were out on the road when that happened. We were in Raleigh and had our day off, and when that whole thing happened, and the next night, everybody, a lot of bands around the world, they all just went home. And I think the way the story goes, us and NSYNC were the only 2 bands that actually in America stayed out. We only had 5 shows left to go. Yeah. And I'll never forget that night in Raleigh. They sold out of American flags in town.
Yeah.
And every American flag that you could even think of. I mean, 23,000 people, here it was. And we did Tuesday's Gone. We were doing Tuesday's Gone already in the show.
Right.
And, man, it was so appropriate, man. It wasn't a dry eye in a place, man. It was just really emotional that night. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I'm the Beatle geek around here. I have the Sunday morning Beatles show.
Love the Beatles,
Are you Beatle guys?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we do.
Were you watching Ed Sullivan?
I was.
Yeah.
I saw
I was on the floor by my mama's house with the lights off,
Yep. Actually, it was really funny because I saw Walter Cronkite just passed away.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was sitting in my parents' living room in my dad's chair with a guitar in my hand, and the Walter Cronkite Evening News came on, and he said, "We'll be right back after this short break about a phenomenon called Beatlemania." And so they came, this was like in 62 then.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
They came back, and all of a sudden they started reporting on Beatlemania, and I'm looking at these guys running through the streets and girls are chasing them and stuff, and I went, wow, I'd like to do that, And then about a year later, next thing you know, there they are, and they were on Ed Sullivan. I was just flipping out,
Yeah, it was great. It changed the world, didn't it?
It sure did. And so many bands, you have no idea how many folks have sat in this chair going, saw that show and went, that's it. That's what we're doing. Yeah, there we go.
Sure.
That's it.
Sure.
We liked Elvis, of course,
but
you, like Lennon said, before Elvis there was nothing, but then they came, and wow, it was really a turn on, and everybody...
Just amazing.
Well,
amazing.
The other thing that always got me is, before then, there were handsome guys, there were pretty looking guys and girls who sang songs written by songwriters. Right. The guys here in the Brill Building would write the songs, Carole King or whomever, and a handsome guy in a turtleneck,
Yep.
And they would sing it, and suddenly it didn't matter whether you were pretty or not, but it was your songs, and you sang them. And suddenly, talk about changing the world.
Well, I just saw that special on Phil Spector.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On a biography.
Right.
And they were talking about, him being in the, they talked about the Brill Building, and I'd been in the Brill Building before, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. And then when I heard his history of what all he did, around, at that time, and it was amazing the stuff that he took part in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was really, and then I had to call Gary and ask Gary, because I never quite understood why George Martin never did the Let It Be record, why Phil Spector did the Let It Be record, know?
Right.
And I found that to be really interesting, because...
Ken Dashow, Q1043, in the studio with us, Gary Rossington and Rickey Medlocke in town, because Lynyrd Skynyrd at the beach on Sunday. And, guys, that song, as you said, the whole world, no matter how crappy a week you've had, no matter how crappy a day, no matter how many reports you had to do, a little adult beverage,
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama, and we're in a groove.
Well, what's really cool is several years ago it crossed over the million mark of downloaded ringtones.
Isn't
so
that
that's
great?
Really that's a real cool thing,
Plus, this thing with Kid Rock we're doing, he does all summer long, so he kind of plays this style and the song all summer long anywhere he goes. So we're just with him and doing it, and it's real fun, It's going over real good, and we can't wait to hit Jones Beach.
Plus, a new album in the works here, huh?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, we got it's coming out September 29th. It's called God and Guns. And actually doing a couple of new songs in the new show, Skynyrd Nation and Still Unbroken, the single. And I'll tell you, it's going over really, really good. We really, really are proud of this CD. We put a lot into it. We were going through a lot at that point. And, it took us a lot to really get it done, but we felt for the fans that we owed the fans, that to get it done, and for our two compadres that actually, we lost Billy, after the first year.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, before we went to Europe, we lost our bass player Ian. And so it's really important for us, this record, and I think people are going to really stand up and take notice of this. I think this is going to be a really, really good outing for us.
Yeah, they were a part of it, too, and played on some of it. They weren't here to finish it, so we finished it kind of for them, And
Beautiful.
The last song we did or wrote was a song called Gifted Hands. It was for Billy Powell and everybody, but it started out to be about just Billy, so.
Gary, I got to ask you, and Rickey, too, you have persevered through so much hardship, and this isn't about jokes or anything like that, but sincerely, people are going through such times these days, and you're a band who have lost so many loved ones, so many brothers, so much tragedy, and I know there must have been some days where you thought, Jesus, do we really want to keep doing this? And yet you find a way to keep going.
Well, you know what? It's the music. The music's bigger than all of us, and when we had a dream when we were all little kids and teenagers when the Beatles came out to get in a band that was famous and write songs, and that was just a dream, but it came true. So we're just keeping the music going for the guys that aren't here anymore, that can't, and back in the day we wrote some songs that everybody loves, so we're just keeping it alive, and spreading the word and telling our story along with the good music that everybody that's not here wrote,
Really been through the mill,
Yeah.
And I look at it, and every night we go up there, man, I play it like it's going to be my last, and then that's what's the real cool thing.
And that's what makes the magic for all these years.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've played so long now that really each show we take like this is it. So we pour our hearts out, and it's like baseball players. You want to play the best you can, so if some kid only sees you once, you went, wow, they were really good and live, in person. So
Each with Kid Rock on Sunday. We got the new album coming out. When do we get the new album, guys?
It'll be the 29th of September.
Yep.
Great. And the title?
God and Guns.
God and Guns. It's kind of a head jerker title, but it's really appropriate when you hear the song, When we first titled it that, it was like, well, I don't know if we should put guns right next to God, but it really makes sense when you hear the song and know what it's about,
We've had a history of doing that, like That Smell. If people don't listen to the lyrics, they don't really get what that... I'm like, listen to the lyrics. Listen to what they're saying here.
There's a lot of songs like Give Me Back My Bullets.
Yeah.
It's about radio and airplay. It's not about bullets. But.
Exactly.
Right.
Gary Rossington and Rickey Medlocke, thank you so much for
Thanks for
visiting.
having us, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Hey, come on back when the new album comes up. Maybe we can do a little something, huh?
We will. We'd
we
love
will.
to, and you better have us.